Good morning, Mr. Roy.
Good morning. Happy Monday, Easter Monday.
Yep. Today is the day he technically risen. I don't
Yeah.
know how Catholics can't put 3 days together.
Somber day on the Catholic community, well, Christian community as well. The Pope has passed.
Yeah, have you ever noticed that? So we have Good Friday and then we have Easter Sunday. Well, that's 2 days.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. And that just shows how strong the Catholic Church is, right? I mean, you look at the holidays the religious holidays that we do go with is the Catholic religious holidays. So, but that's always irked me. I've always never understood how it was 2 days. Like, wait, he rose on the third day, not the second day. What
This
are we
is
doing?
where they're like, wait a minute, can't break the weekend. We can't be doing holidays
Right.
on a
Well,
Monday,
they
even
knew
though we'll
they
do.
so they could have a Good Friday, right? And they knew they could have the Monday, but it's like, well, I mean, and of course the dates change all the time. So I mean, obviously that's not the accurate date anyway, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
The main thing is he did die on the cross for us. So and third day he
there you
did
go.
rise. Whether when we celebrate it, how we celebrate it, doesn't matter, does it? We're getting this breakdown here, Roy, of this zone. Yeah, I don't
How's
really
CBD
know.
looking?
Negative 6,000. But Tide is not really. I mean, it's look, it's not great. Okay, but
Yeah,
you did have a little pop up in volume there. So
Holdings is showing a little bit more of a bearish look.
yeah, look
Not
how I
a lot.
remember when I looked the first was when it started. Look at that. I mean, my gosh.
hmm Yeah.
Uh, Michael, I don't know if you're here yet. Michael, you here?
If you are
You in
here,
here?
post a comment. Yeah. We had a
Yeah, just
question we wanted
I
to go
saw your
over.
question. Yeah, we want to answer it. We want to make sure you're here when we answer it, though. So
So
we'll
you get a
see here in a minute.
retest the bottom of the zone and then a failure, then you short. These wicks are worrying me.
I don't like the way. All right, Michael, you're here. So you asked about rules, and you got a very good start on your rules that you put in there. And I read what rules y'all have so far, so everybody knows this. Don't trade the open. Trade with the trend. Stay out of the New York lunch hour. Don't trade mid candle. Don't trade the chop. Don't trade news. Those are very, very fine rules. Another rule that I think is very important is have a reason why you enter the trade, right? Have multiple reasons. Don't just have one reason. See, and this is why we don't just do what we do because Trump just said something. Uh, have a reason why you're in the trade and go and have an exit, whether that is you have a plan to take profit, you're trailing it. There's multiple reasons you could have an exit, but I think that's one of the key ones that we forget a lot is just have a reason, multiple reasons, have more than one. And the
hmm
more reasons you have, the more things that line up. Like you look here where it rejected this right here. Could have took it short here. Rejected anchored VWAP. Rejected the 8 coming back down off the zone. So there's 3 reasons why a short would probably be a decent play here. Uh, I'm gonna wait to see if we do get a break because your call premiums. This is very strange looking. Look at your call premiums rock, but look at your put premiums rock. And your volume went back up and it's coming back down. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying that a short won't work here, but I just don't feel comfortable taking it. And that's another rule. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. If you have to question whether you should enter a trade or not multiple times, that's telling you right there you don't need to enter the trade. That's another very valuable rule to have. And this is why right here. Look at this. India
So
just imposed 12% temporary tariff on safeguard duty on some steel imports.
so Trump, I guess, came after Powell again this morning. There can be slowing of the economy unless Mr. Too Late, a major loser, lowers interest rates now.
Yeah. So if you don't
So
know, Unusual Wells, they're having an Easter sale. If you do want to get Unusual Wells, we are not affiliated with Unusual Wells. We do not get any money off Unusual Wells. But They are having that, and they do have a way you can go in there, and I got to look it up because I saw him tweet about it last night. But you can see all his posts on True Social on the unusual wells when they happen. So that would actually be something to keep up with.
Yeah.
And it looks like the second time to test it was the time to do it, but I'm still not 100% sold yet. Volume has turned green on Tide. Is that right, Roy? Yes.
That
Make
is
sure.
right.
Sometimes you got swept, y'all swept back on. Holdings is, look, wow. Crazy. So let's go look at general market Tide. Same thing. So this is telling us do not go short right now.
Even though the candles.
So you can have multiple reasons why you should go short. But when you have one that tells you don't go short, just let it override your other ones right now. I don't know. I mean, it's not pretty still. So I'm not saying that shorts won't work, but let's be safe here.
Yeah. Kind of distract a little bit and go back to the question. So, really the main rules, the rules that you have as a trader really correspond with the goals you have as a trader. So, if you have, some people do like daily financial goals, which is probably the most common. There's a lot of debate whether that's good or bad, but let's assume you do. Like me and Manny pretty much have the same one, about $200 a day, just given the rules of Top Step and things. That's kind of been ingrained in us to at least get that each day. Now we'll push it and try and go higher than that, but at the end of the day, if we've had a rough day and we've got $200, we're cutting it. But let's say we start and we get a quick $200. Well, now we're feeling a little good. We'll probably won't lock something right away. Well, we'll let it dance a bit as far as maybe making another trade. So your rules have to be corresponding with your goals. I would say to start, new traders, especially if you're doing, I highly recommend prop trading, but let's say you're doing your own money or any of that stuff, try and pay one bill a month. So whether that's as small as a Netflix bill, right? Make sure at the end of the month you can make, $20 profit to pay your Netflix bill. And I mean that's an extremely small goal, but certain like manageable goals. Don't try and quit your job or retire or do massive amounts. But and then how you formulate your rules from that will be, it's just all about managing risk, and honestly, it's about managing emotions. And so if you're if you're nervous about entering a trade, like Monty said, don't enter the trade. You're the one that has to click the button. Now, of course, we could have entered a short there, a rejection off of anchored VWAP. Looks good, broke the bottom of the zone, and now we're like, oh, we missed it. That's hard to look at because okay, one trade would be already in the book screen. But at the time, you heard us kind of waffling a bit because Trump was talking, things were happening. We're in a very kind of wacky news cycle here. So, rule one: be comfortable when you enter the trade. You're making an investment, which means you're going to either lose or you're going to win. But understand that you're going to lose sometimes and have that mapped out. The worst thing you can do is enter a trade and lose really quickly, and you're like, "Why did I do that? I was so stupid," which we do hundreds of times.
Yep.
Or you'll get in stuff and you'll say, "Man, I got lucky. Thank you," which can happen hundreds of times as well. So rule number one is stick to a strategy. You've got a pretty good rule set there. A lot of those rules will just become second nature, where you don't even have to check a rule set. You'll just know, like, okay, I'm not trading news. Okay, I'm not trading the opening candle. Okay, I'm not doing all these things. Technically, one rule we try to keep up with is when you're below VWAP, you go long or short, and you're above it, you go long. That helps you stay with the trend.
Yep.
So, like, as much as some people right now would love to take a long here to time the bottom, the real play here is to see, does it come back, retest that top of that zone, and then fail? Because we do have a candle by candle on the 5 minute. You don't have it on the 10-minute yet. It's just been red. You had the opening candle was a 10-minute candle by candle.
They
But
played out great.
yeah. So one thing I will stress, and this channel will do a good job of telling you, is identify the day. There's 3 types of days in the stock market. There's technical day, fundamental day, and mechanical day. A fundamental day is a day that's packed with data, economic data, or news that can impact the day. Today is not one of those days. The only thing we have going on news-wise is just random White House stuff, which that's just the nature of the market right now, is you're just going to get random White House stuff.
Yeah, Trump trumps every technical analysis, everything.
Yeah.
So the guy is. I don't think he had this much influence on the market last time he was president. Like,
no, he kind of stayed out of the economic side. I mean, he definitely started little trade wars with China, but they always got resolved, right? He'd always like, we're starting a trade war with China, and then 7 days later they get resolved.
So I have a thought about that. I kind of teased you earlier about it.
Yeah.
So you notice he came back on a lot of tariffs with other countries, right? He's pausing, negotiating, but he's playing really, really hardball with China.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people's upset, of course, that tariffs don't work, blah blah blah. I think if it works, now this is a gamble, right? We got 17 months now until we know, because that's when we have midterm elections, and if everything goes blue wave midterm elections, well, we know it didn't work. But if you watch what he's doing with China right now, we have more power over China than we realize. Because China said, fine, we're going to sell our stuff to everybody else in the world. Well, guess what everybody else in the world just said? We don't want your junk.
Mm-hmm.
So China has to sell their stuff to us. The yuan, yen, or however you say their dollar, whatever it is, yuan. I've heard it called different things. I don't know. How do you say it right, Roy? Do you know?
The yen is Japan.
It's UR. It's YU8.
It's Chinese Huan. Really, Huan. Yeah.
So if you look at it, it's taking a beating right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the market is right this second. Thing is drilling down.
The tide really went bearish.
But if you look at it, the deal is it's taking a beating. Well, China can only withstand this so long before China really has no money, right? If their money keeps dropping, it's not a good outlook for China. This is another one of the levels I had here, really down here at the bottom. We need to change that color too. Anybody doesn't know, we're following the Mancini levels on here. See how they play out. So far, you look at that blue line, blues on the top, pretty damn good. This is the one he had earlier from last night. So yeah. And then from the other day we were talking about. Anyway, back to China. Oh my gosh, CBD's gone negative over 10,000.
Whoa.
But look at this.
Yeah.
Volume is still checking on. So anyway, I think China gives before we give. I think Trump's going to make sure of that. And another thing I don't think people thought about. So a lot of times, if you go back and you look at the history of tariffs, it ends up slowing demand. Mm-hmm. If you slow demand, inflation does not go up with tariffs. Think about this, right? Everybody's telling you, hey, tariffs going to drive everything up, it's going to make everything cost more. And Trump kept saying, hey, it might be temporary, but it's going to work out. I think that's the reason. If you go back, you look at the history of tariffs over time. I'm not talking about just recently. I'm talking about over time. It slows demand by more than what inflation goes up. So your inflation actually comes down with it. I mean, so hard for Powell to cut rates now, which me and Roy, I think we both agree on this. We're not saying that we should cut rates, we shouldn't cut rates. What we are saying, though, is that Powell often does work late.
Yes.
That's not a secret. That's not a surprise. My gosh, this thing would have paid so damn good. Anyway, this tariff thing is very, very interesting. I think, and of course, they're like, well, if you listen to economists don't agree with you. I saw Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk actually pulled up economists. He said, if you look at these economists, the ones that are saying that tariffs make inflation rise, they are bought and paid for by the Democrat Party, period. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like it's on paper, they are paid for by the Dems. So at this point, do you trust the economists you're hearing? Because are they paid? Or if you look at the economists that have no affiliation, they're saying the same thing. Like, hey, this could actually be a very good play in the long run. I don't know. I'm not saying they're right, they're wrong. I leave that up for a later determination. But I'm saying right now, I lean toward that this actually might be better than what everybody thought it would be. Could be wrong. We'll see.
It's a gamble. I mean, I would expect what you're going to see is a trade deal announcement with Japan probably this week or next week.
Yeah. Did you see the other part where China came out and said, "Hey, Japan and Taiwan and India are standing with us," and then these countries made statements like, "No, we're not."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know where you're coming. Like, we didn't talk to you about this.
Yeah, there's posturing definitely on the big sides of it. The fear I have with it all is we get into kind of trust me bro stuff, and I don't really do well in trust me bro, like just trust like trust it'll work out, or trust they know what they're doing and stuff. That is good, and I'm okay with people taking that stance. You're completely okay with that. For me, I need to see a little bit of a formulated plan, which I understand. You're in a negotiation thing. You're not going to tip that to the public to be able to see, but I think that's what you're seeing in the market is you have so much uncertainty.
The uncertainty because you're getting both sides and nobody knows which side to believe.
Right, and you do have bickering inside the White House that is not aligned. So there is multiple stances getting kind of thrown about from the administration, from the advisors. So one camp is doing this, one camp's doing that.
I don't think it was the tariffs that are the question. I think it was how the tariffs came and what the tariffs actually were that were the question.
Yeah.
Because like Roy said, Roy can tell you this. If I talk about something on here like this, I've done a shit ton of research on it.
Yeah.
Roy knows I will go down a rabbit hole and we'll just dig until I can't dig anymore. And that's what I've been doing on the tariff situation. That's where I found out if you look at the long-term tariffs, you look over time where they pay off. You got to be careful with it, right?
Yeah.
Different time, anything could change. One thing I've been crying for what I think 2 years now is that we will see a housing crash at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now you're looking FHA delinquency rates are higher than they were in 2008 right now. That are people starting to bet on that again now? I think some people are.
Yeah.
I think they are shorting these, and we know where that ends. And look, I'm going to be honest with everybody here. I kind of hope we get a housing crash. I don't want anybody to lose their house or anything like that, but we need a reset. In 2008, we reset. You see how much stronger we got, right? Everything is out of control right this second. and it's got to come back in line right now. I mean, houses are going up by way too much. If you start to look, you're seeing decreases. Roy, you know, Panama City is one of the places I watch right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're like top 10 in the country in decrease in pricing right this second.
Mm.
And you're starting to see a lot of these areas like that are taking hits. So, are we starting to see a crack in that part of the world? I mean, that part of the banking industry and all that. I think we could be. Anybody's watched The Big Short, you know it took a long time for that shit to play out.
Yeah.
The people don't realize it, and they don't show it. But the housing crisis started in 2007. That's where everything really started to show its tails, and we're seeing some of the signs now that you saw then. So I don't know. I don't know where we go with this. Yeah, Michael, it was great. It is a great movie. I can't tell you the number of times myself, Roy, and Snoop, we got a little group together. We talk about and how many times we talk about that movie. How many times we've actually watched that movie?
Not enough. I'll still watch again.
Oh, I could watch it again. I mean, I bought it just so I could watch it whenever I want to watch it. I got it bought on digital, so if it's not available, guess what? I got it available. Of course, now it's popular again. It's popping up. You're seeing it advertised on places again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michael was a real estate agent in 2007, 2008. Well, bro,
Oh,
Lord. Were you one of the ones that was taking people on trips and getting 14 mortgages on their house?
Yeah. At the time, it was the norm to finance that way.
Well, you look now. What are you getting now? You're getting you're seeing second mortgages and HELOCs and stuff like. You're seeing that come out everywhere now, right? That's never a good sign for the economy to start with. If people are having to take second mortgages, now you're starting to see defaults on some of these second mortgages. I mean, we're setting up for a failure again, and the housing market the way it is today is just it's unsustainable in my opinion. Like nothing has gone up as much as the housing market has over, let's say, from the 80s to now. It's just insane. Like, I mean, you could buy a 2,000 square foot house for under $100,000. I mean, probably like $50,000, $75,000 in the 80s, where that house is $1 million house today. That's stupid inflation.
Yeah. Well, as far as we really messed that short up, but
yeah,
that's okay.
I told Roy when we get to talking, sometimes we miss trades, and he's like, "Ah, it's probably for the best." Well,
bottom of the zone was 30 points ago.
I mean, look, it came back and tested that zone. I mean, this was the exact entry. 38. There's 30 points off of it. I mean, that's if you just had one MES, that's a pretty good damn.
$150.
Yeah. Multiply times 5. Okay. We have not had a candle test the top of the previous candle yet.
Wow.
It is a bloodbath. But one thing that you have to expect, I'm going to say it, and Roy knows I hate saying this, so I'm going to say it anyway. We are definitely in a bear market right this second, right? There's no doubts. The overall trend's down. I hate to say that. We've come down a lot. We're definitely in a bear market. Roy knows how much I hate that word and hate saying that. I hate saying bear market or bull market. But when the market is on a downtrend, let's use it that way. When the market is on a downtrend, you do see some very big pops, right? But then it comes right back down and takes out that low. So that's what we're looking at now to see if we can go back out and take that low back out. Let's look at, I'm going to have to hide everything. So, I mean, you're looking at, there's your levels you're looking at down here, right? 48. But look, this big drop, look at this huge pop up. This is expected, right? Look, it's going right back to its work. Once it breaks, oh my gosh, Roy. If it breaks down here, 5208, let's just call it 5200. We've got to come to this 5150 area, you would think would be the next. Probably 5180, then 5150. That's kind of Mancini's levels, isn't it?
Yep.
And this shows you right here, it's not that hard to look at things and figure things out, why people do what they do. I told Roy I was going to chart out his levels over the weekend so I could see why he did what he did. Well, the reason he did what he did is that there's levels there that show what we should be doing. So, yeah, I saw the Pope was passed. I'm going to not comment on that one either. Not that I want anybody to pass. I don't think the Pope is the one we need to pray to.
We're gonna put that on the next thumbnail.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that off.
Get some views.
We could definitely get some views. I know that. If you're Catholic, you're Catholic. I have different beliefs.
So Mancini's level is the 5211. So we're hanging around it. There's not really much saying continue to short. Go long.
CBD was over 10,000. It's come back to negative 9,700 now. Your puts are taking a break. Your volume is really not. So, yeah. I mean, you're watching the bottom of this. So he had 11. This is the zone I drew off of it. The reason I drew the zone off of it, here's the bottom of this channel, right?
Yeah.
Look how it came down. It held, broke it, came back up, and broke it this time. So now you got this one over here, way back over here. There's another level we talked about, right? There's another. We need to go and change that color too. Those are the Mancini levels. But if you look, they're not just Mancini levels. These are actually very solid levels off zones off levels. So it's not like we're just, throwing a dart at the board and this is where we're doing it at. We've got reasons why we have levels there, and that's why I wanted to see what his reasoning was. And once you see his reasoning there, it's like, okay, I agree 100% with that level.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to go back to that. Roy remembers back in the day when I do stocks like that, I'd go and I'd find all those levels and share them. And hey, this is what we're looking for. If it does this, or this.
Yeah.
And it gave you options if it went long or short, and reasons why if you want to go short off this level or short long off this level or so forth. Maybe we need to go back with that with this.
Not a bad.
Pretty good times.
Yeah, I mean, they were profitable.
All right, so I don't know. I want to see it. If this level holds, definitely not looking to just take a long down here. We know that everything is just still leaning too bearish to take a long. I want to see now, Michael. This goes back to your rules. Here's my rule going to be for this now. If we break this zone down below and we come back and retest this zone and reject that zone, I will take a short.
CVD, what's it at?
Negative 97. Anybody hadn't followed too long? Y'all know I drew this trend line a while back.
Last week. Last Monday, I think.
Yeah, it's still playing out. It's stupid. Would have been another good short. You got your calls popping a little bit here. Volume is trending up a little bit, so. But your puts are doing the same. Well, now kind of take a break. So I don't know. Why we wait? Just a reminder, I don't know, Roy, are you going to be here Thursday? I'm out Thursday and Monday, the following Monday.
Yeah, I plan on giving it a go.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm going to be out. I'm going to the Floribama, going to Orange Beach, going to be hanging out, not on the beach, but in the bar. Anybody's been there before, you'll know. It's just so great. And there's actually a beach at the bar, so you get all of it.
Lovely.
We're gonna break this down this time, or what we gonna do? What we gonna do? We had a buddy that we went down there, and this is strictly a guy's trip. Strictly a guy's trip. Women forbidden. This is like the old school. Women forbidden, girls, no girls allowed. The old stuff. Anyway, we had a buddy show up one time, and his fiance at the time was with him, and I won't ever forget. My buddy Neil walked in and said, "What the hell are you doing? Are you an idiot? You bring women down here?" I was like, "Yeah, what are you doing, dude? You're an idiot." Wow.
Whoa.
Well, Phoenix Mayor says, I think he is in fortune cookies now. Don't wait for the perfect time to make your big life decisions. He ate Chinese last night. There's no doubt. Confucius say,
There's 5,200.
yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a retest here or not. My gosh, CBD is a negative 11,600 right now. Remember how we taking a break? Well, let's not take a break. See if we can get a retest of the zone here. That would be perfect now.
So below this, we've got.
So, Michael, did we answer your questions on kind of what our rules are?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably let me kind of give you my rules in a more non-general form. Is don't trade the open, still guilty of it. Don't trade Globex overnight, still guilty of it. Don't trade a 1 minute chart. Trade 5 to 10 minute chart candles. Try not to average down, still guilty of it. Have a max of what you want to lose on a trade and stick to it. Don't move your stops, basically. Don't trade news. Understand the day. So going back to that, technical days. Today would be kind of a technical day / mini fundamental day. It's definitely not a mechanical day. Mechanical days are more like options driven, where like options, expiration, earnings, stuff like that. So if today is a technical day, I'll switch to my chart. I'm looking at this RSI on the 10 minute. It's getting way into the gradient. So you are getting a little where you could see a little bit of a relief pop just to clean up the technicals a bit. So you gotta be careful if you are shorting here. Now, all indications tied, screaming up on general market, puts wise screaming up on SPY, but you could see a 13 point, 11 point pop, no problem.
I'm going back a little old school way. If you want to look at my chart, what I'm doing here, I drew a field off this candle here.
Mm-hmm.
So the next candle, I would love it to come up here and test, which would put us right close to that zone too, which I said I would like. So this gives me a couple of different reasons to take a short.
Mm-hmm.
If we close here, we come here and we test this zone, I would definitely take a short. And then you could have your stop. You got your built-in stop at the top of that candle.
Yeah.
But it's got to get there. It's got to at least get to 0550 for me to do this. To feel comfortable doing this. Let me put it that way. Would like it to get a little more. Would like it to touch that zone too and give me really a couple of great reasons why I should enter short. But so far, we got close. But one thing I do forget about, I do forget about fib levels, and fib levels can give you really good entries on moves like this.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Of course. Of course.
But this is what we do, right? This is what we do.
SPY approaching 515, 515.28. Bitcoin is up 3%. Gold is up 3%.
Gold
Dixie,
insane.
yeah, Dixie's down 1% at 98.30. VIX is up 13%. Not surprised given the move down. All Mag 7 is red. Netflix is fading its earnings pop. Where does the money go? Intel is 1850. Ooh. Where does the money go? Can you close the door, Bubba? Thanks, man. Okay. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll talk about it. My
down here on this bottom. You gotta give it that here. Where those holes are not around this 5200 level. If you get it closed below 5200, maybe we move another leg down. If you get a close above it, maybe we pop back up a little bit and see some kind of short-term relief here. I just don't know what to do, what to think right now. Just give me a couple of chances there to get in on something, but I haven't really felt just great with it yet. So
the volume of the previous candle almost resets what's happened before, in my opinion.
Yeah, volume of the previous candle is telling you that this thing is there's more downside to this.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But here's your little pop.
Low. Got a minute and a half of this candle, so
the market is going to get a little spooked if, I mean, it's pretty clear Trump's strategy here as far as if the market falls, he's got a scapegoat that he's blaming Powell.
there's no doubt.
He's
setting that up.
So the market is basically saying, okay, well, he now has a scapegoat to move down. So he's not gonna run. However, though, this is pure Roy theory here. You push it down, announce a deal with Japan to rip it up, and then flex and say, look how great the market's performing.
I expected them to make some kind of announcement over the weekend. That's kind of what I was expecting. And look, today could come today, and it could come today, and he's like, "Hey, look, this deal with Japan's done." Blah blah blah. And this market, if that comes out, this market's going to rip face.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that. But I don't like. It's weird. Tide is weird.
No.
Yeah. CBD still holding negative 10.5. I did scalp a quick $50 on Take Profit Trader. I'm being very smart with them here since I had my bad day the other day. So we're just slowly grinding them back up. Where we see opportunities, we're scalping really quick and we're taking profit really quick, and we're not doing much else with it. We're not letting it linger against us. If a trade turns green, it is not going back red.
Yeah.
Now, does that miss some plays, some moves? Absolutely. But sometimes it's best just to take not even base hits. We're taking walks at this point. But you get 4 walks, you get a run.
True.
This damn thing, I just don't. I don't like Tide now. It's gonna come up here and give me the test that I want, and I don't like Tide now.
Yeah, Tide dropped on both general market and on SPY
White
side of
House
things.
doing their Easter egg roll today, so the White House knows what 3 days are.
Well, what's interesting is that'll keep Trump occupied for maybe a couple hours.
He's going to speak there, so he's going to bring something up.
If he does it at the Easter, I mean, I saw the True Social tweet yesterday where he wished everybody a happy Easter, and then went on a Easter rip on all of his people he doesn't like.
Well, he's fixing it. I mean, here's where it's going to go. I'm going to tell you. Like, we were able to have Easter egg because I brought the price of eggs down. That's why we had this egg roll. That's why we're having this thing. Like, I mean, shit, that's a no-brainer. It's coming up. Tariffs made this possible. Today's Easter egg hunt is brought to you by tariffs. Got a special guest on the show today.
Yeah, we're out of school today, so all right, hold on. Let me help him out a bit.
You do what you gotta do. This thing will not get up there and get where I wanted to get. The cake another damn short. My God, you got the only triple-digit orders. You got them at 51.90 and 51.80, and then 52.05. There is nothing up high. Nothing like the biggest order to the upside is 43. Well, you got a 90 pop up there now, but I mean, the market is thin still, very thin up to the high side. So, I hate it did not give us that test. That really disappoints me. Makes me sad. CBD's 10.6. You are starting to get a curl on the put premiums. Volume going back down again, so this thing could just rip face.
Ugly candle.
Yeah. That's not much positive going on here, Roy. I don't know how people, and I know there's people that do this that try to time the buy, and they're loading up longs or going, buying calls here, and I don't see why or how you do that right now, the way this thing's been going down. I mean, you got to assume that we're going to flag, then break back down again. And it's kind of why we're looking for a pullback up to here. This would, make a really good flag. There's a flag there, broke down. If we get a flag here and then do the same breakdown. But your put premiums are dying off again, but your volume's going back down still. So I don't know. Can't put all your eggs in that basket. Speaking of eggs, but
look at TNX. Flip over to my chart. Gap up 440. It's come down, so that could be a little bit of the relief that you may see.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that needs to come down more. That being up is not good for us unless you're trading it.
Yeah.
Right now, Michael, yes. But like I said, this could be flagging here, so I would definitely be careful. I would not look too long this right now. If that's where you're going with that, because it's just you see these flags play out so much, especially over the last few weeks where they've been going, then they just tank down or whatever direction the flag breaks in. So I mean, you're looking here. If it breaks this low here, then we see how far we can come down.
What do you want? That one? Just pull it out.
Yeah, break to the downside, Michael, would probably be a better play than trying to go short. Let me go long there.
So there.
I still got there's so much going on here. We need to see some kind of some kind of something somewhere. Like I said, once it gets to, if it does finally reach my golden zone up here, if it shows some weakness there, I will go short. But it's gotta give us that look first. Of course, every time it gets right close to it, we reject back down. So
The one thing you got volume, you do have volume inching up in this last green candle. That was a close.
yeah, but look,
Not saying it's going to
it's
turn the tide, but it's. And I'm trying to make Star Wars Spider-Man here with a green cape, apparently. Holding 5,200, can't quite break above it. Just hanging out around it, not looking good.
well, this is what if you play flags, this is actually a very great place for a flag to play out at, right at a key level like that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Who knows? I just know that unless something changes, today is not a long day. Something could change in a heartbeat, though. We see it all the time.
Well, one thing we know is during the Easter egg roll, he's probably not going to announce a tariff deal with Japan. So.
Just you don't bet against him. He could do anything, anytime. That gave us a little fake out there, didn't it? Let's see if it can finish it out. We're going to actually adjust this now because of that. Well, now look. Now it tested that every time. Can't look at what it was. Got to look at where it's at. Still, I still think we're flagging here, so I think you still got to be careful if you're looking. Your volume, your put premiums are coming down, but look at your volumes going still down. Your calls are going down. So just because your put premium's not cooperating right this second doesn't mean that there's not more downside. And like I said, it's still so thin up top. There's no orders up high, none at all. All your orders, your triple digit orders are below. Roy, what happens when we see that? Plays out.
You got a lot of time on this candle, but the last 10-minute candle does actually set up another candle by candle to the downside.
Well, we got 6 minutes left for this thing to do, but yes. My gosh. This is the closest we've ever got, though, on the 10-minute of it coming close to hitting the top of the previous candle.
Mm-hmm.
All day. All morning since open.
I remember looking at Globex last night and us hitting 5,300. Here we are hanging out at 5,200.
Yeah, I know this makes for great streaming, but it is what it is. There's not going to be this. This is trading, right? This is what you do.
When you get the drop right at the open and it just continues down, it's really hard. We did have our retest into the zone. For whatever reason, we decided not to take it. But
yeah, so here's your open, right? Can't get open here, drill down. Gave us a nice test here, which would have been the greatest entry ever right there. But it is what it is, right? That's what we do. Now this thing is, you're not going to test the damn, still not going to test my golden zone there. I'm not loving tide right this second. It is starting to see a little. You're going to have people buying calls just because, damn, it's so beat up right this second.
mm-hmm.
You gonna give us
Could get a little push to the 8.
8 would be a great spot if it was a reject off of it. And that would put us. All right, we're in the golden zone. I'll be damned. What are you gonna do? I don't like how that camera just adjusted on Top Step X. You see that?
Yeah.
I don't like when that happens.
Let me close this door real quick. It's about to be showtime.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
All
Got
right.
8. Let's see if it'll take it there. There's my stop at the top of those candles there. Risking $200. Let's see if we can get a break. We'll move it down. We'll trail it if it does move in our direction.
Let's just spiked on SPY.
Before I entered, wow. I'm not after I entered, sorry. I got the entry before that finally. Before that finally. Well, we shall see what it does here. Oh. Not liking it so far. What's that at? 14. Acted like it wanted to move with us for a second, then went back up. We'll see if we can get the move down now. Like I said, we got built-in stops here. So, if it hits it, it hits it. I hate it, but it's part of trading. If we get a good rejection down here now, it could be a very good trade. So I don't like how it fought its way back up. I don't like how Roy jinxed the 10-minute candle.
Definitely did that. Still got a minute left.
Yeah, it's got to reject here, or this is going to be a losing trade. Volume is the only thing that really worries me on the on Tide over there. The volume is not going down with the puts rising up.
Call premium starting to rise. A little hint of hope here, and they've taken it.
Yep. They're taking advantage of the egg roll.
It took him a minute to like, wait a minute. If he's doing that.
Well, he's speaking with Netanyahu today, too, on the hostage deal and nuclear talks with Iran. So that could be very spicy, too.
Lovely.
It just came out. That was just said. So we need a drop here. CBD has come back to negative 9,500. It was over negative 10, so that is not a good sign.
Back over 52.11. Yeah, it's popped.
Yeah, well, we tried, We tried. I would take that trade again. I still didn't. I didn't hate the entry. It looked like it was going to play out. It just didn't play out. So volume was kind of. Oh, next CVD is now negative 8,900. You got some buyers stepping in here.
Mm.
What time is it? Son of a bitch.
Yep.
You know what you're fixing to get, right?
Oh, lunch
European close.
afternoon. Yeah.
European close. So you're going to have some shorts cover here for a minute. And then we should go back to what we were doing before. This is definitely around the 10 o'clock area. 10 o'clock, 9:30 to say 10:30. That hour there is, you got to be really careful because you could definitely get a reversal and then go back in your direction there with whatever happens, because you got the European close coming up, and then they are going to close their positions they're in, and a lot of time those positions are short, so they got to cover, and that could be why you're seeing what you're seeing here. And Roy knows that you see that. Then what do you see after that? What pattern do you almost always see?
H pattern.
H pattern. Yep. Who says technical analysis is not a thing? Huh? I remember we was talking about it one day, and Roy texted me, he's like, you ever seen an H pattern like this? And it was a big old H, but it was a damn H pattern. There it is. Yep. It played out. Just took it longer to do, but it played out.
Yeah.
Here's what gets me. You're still not seeing any orders to the upside. Like, there's nothing up there. All your triple-digit orders to the downside. Every one of them.
Mm.
You're not seeing. You saw some iceberg orders pop up there, but you just saw some pop down below. So you're negative on iceberg orders overall. One thing you did just see is you saw about 700 stops get hit there.
Mm.
So that could have been a stop loss raid. You see that a lot. If that was a stop loss raid, we go right back down to the lower day. That's the first candle you've actually had break the previous candle, though. Like, actual break. You had one get right there at it, but didn't break it. But that one actually broke that time. See if it can break down here. I'm still not loving it. I mean, Tide is not really in any great thing for us. CBD is going back in the right direction, back to negative 9,200 now. It got down to like negative 88. So you are seeing a few sellers step back in.
Did not hold 52.11.
So you got order sitting at 90. I'm gonna move this up a little bit above 90. Let's go to 91 there. And if it gets 91 there, that would be a fantastic day in this. If it breaks that low, I will probably start moving that down with it too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure that if anything stupid happens real quick, look at this damn thing. Negative 9,500. I'm tempted to go on a take profit here just because we're having a decent day already, but you know.
Well, maybe stop now.
Guns.
At least a break even.
Do a little better break even.
I mean, you were like, what, 2 ticks away from getting stopped?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it there, and whatever happens, happens. That puts it at 312 for the day. Yeah. I mean, I was close to getting stopped out, and the trade worked out. So we didn't make as much as we could, but I just didn't like. I don't like the way it's moving here because it could chop around down here for a little while.
Yeah.
So I would rather. What's that? Bird in the hand's worth more than 2 in the bush.
I'm hoping these 4 minutes get a little bit more bearish, and then that would create the downside candle by candle. On the 10-minute,
Yeah, he jinxed the last one, guys. He jinxed the last one.
just crushed its soul with mentioning it. So,
All right, Roy, go to yours real quick. I'm on. I'm everybody that don't know. I woke up late this morning, so my dog is staring at me like, "Hey, I still haven't went to the bathroom yet, right? It was raining the first time we went out, right? You know that, right?" So
rejection off the 8 on the 5-minute. Mm. $51.98. Come on, sweet prince.
All right, I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay. We'll go over as we keep an eye on ES. We'll keep it on this chart for right now. This is our zone from this morning. Here's your big thing. This is a 10-minute chart. You're getting this big kind of engulfing candle forming right now on the 10-minute. Love to see that. Close right about here, retest about 5200, 5204, and then reject back down. The volume is increasing. Sorry, the volume is decreasing since the move down. So even though this move up happened, your two green candles weren't ever larger than any short candle. So that tells you the buyers were there, but there just wasn't a lot of power. So they kind of let them move it up. That's what I see in that volume analysis. Did have oversold conditions on the RSI, had a big gradient right here, which they've kind of cleaned that up a little bit. Now they're pushing it down again to that level. We got Star Wars sound effects in the background, so this will make this more entertaining.
Hey.
What's up? The Mag 7, we're going to go look at Apple down 2.5%. Thanks, bro. NVIDIA down 5%, 96. Microsoft down 2%, 360. Google down 2.5%, 147. Oh. Amazon 166 down 3.5%, 3.3%. Meta 485 down 3.3%. Tesla 225 down 6.6%. I mean, it is not pretty out there, folks. Netflix, their entire earnings pump is now at odds of getting faded. Coin is red, which is interesting given that Bitcoin is green. So you're getting a bit of flight and safety to Bitcoin. However, you are getting pretty nasty little 10-minute candle there on Bitcoin, testing the 8 on the downside. Solana 139 pushing up, got a big bearish candle though showing up. And it looks like we're breaking to new lows here. So this candle's got 1 minute left on ES. We'd like to see it close here. Then you potentially could get a retest 5200 rejection and go down. So if we switch over to market side, you're seeing your put premium rising, put volume rising. You got Captain America behind me. You've got the same situation happening on SPY. Got puts premiums rising, put volume rising out. So now we're hitting a low. We've got 25 seconds left on this candle. We'd want to see. Let's do a horizontal ray. All right, there you go. Right about there. Oh, back off. Right about there. Previous candle close. Get a retest there and a drop and cooking with gas, as they say on a short. I am in a short. I need to make sure I have my calculations right here.
I just got 200 in a take profit trader. It hit me profit.
Trading in the rain.
Well, and I took it on this candle back up when it started to reject back down. I got in it, and then I had my stop. I mean, my take profit was like right here. So it came down and barely hit it. But it got it. So
I will say your calls of basically talking about the market and how short cover or stop loss raid stuff like that. Made that pretty convincing short for me to take. I did take that. I got a couple $100 on 3 combines. I haven't really touched my exit face yet. Don't ask me why, but I will here if we get a rejection off of this 10-minute candle by candle on the short.
Yeah, I need to look over here. Oh, wow. Yeah, we needed to get to. It needed a little more pop. We need 95, 75. I got to 94 to do a real candle by candle to the short side. CBD is negative 8,600 though. Make it make sense.
Max 7's getting whipped around quite a bit right now. Tesla's 225.
Hey,
Woo!
Congratulations on getting it, but
Good job.
your balls are pretty big, young fella. Pretty big.
Where's our
You got 218 orders sitting at 80. You got 104 orders sitting at 52.15. You got 200 orders sitting right below us. Actually, you got about 400 orders sitting right below this 90 level. So if it breaks this 90 level, we're going to 80. Bank that. I never say guarantees, but I would almost guarantee that one because that would eat up a ton of orders. Then it would have room to 80. So if it was to do that, be careful. Be careful. Oh
no. My mouse
you know,
died.
we said it. I said it before. Rome was not built in a day. So we're not going to build all these accounts back up in a day. I mean, we can. Don't get me wrong. You can do it, but it's going to take a lot of trading. And I did see something last night. I saw a guy, and it was a guy had a stitch it. I don't know if you ever seen where they stitch it, where a guy tells something, you got another guy talking in the same video. Like, yeah, I agree with that. There were the guys like, hey, if you're in the stock market, you're trading, you're a day trader, right? And you make 30 points in 10 minutes. What do? Do you sit there all day? You're not paid to sit there all day. You're not analysis. You're a trader. Get in, get your money, and get back out. Don't sit there all day. The longer you sit there, the more chances you have of losing money.
Yep.
Casino, right? The longer they can keep you at the table, well, guess what? The better chance they have of getting their money back. We don't want them to get their money back. So we've got to learn to walk away. And I can go and tell you guys right now that once we get done with this stream, as far as funded accounts, they're done. I will not touch them the rest of the day. Now, I might trade a combine just to fuck around with it because I've got $1,500 on the combine and I would like to get, $500 a day and pass it in 3 more days. I don't want to be in a rush with it. We hit it good on Friday, but you know what? I don't want to hit it. I don't want to pass it now because I'm not going to really have time to trade it anyway. So if I could just get it passed, when I come back Monday, pass it Monday. The great thing about Top Step is, you know what happens when you pass it? You can activate it the same day.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Oh, that's a game changer. That is a game changer.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because at this point, if you pass the combine, odds are you're reading the market pretty damn good. So it doesn't hurt to get into a trade there. And so those 400 or so orders that were below us now has turned into, they've eaten most of them up as 190. So that's how many they've taken out so far. You got 372 iceberg orders around 82. That's a big number, just so you know. So I am going to go on a limb and say that we hit that 80 number today at some point. Now, the one thing you cannot tell about iceberg orders is if they pull those iceberg orders. You cannot see that. You can see they're there. So the odds are if it plays out longer, but you had 600 and holy shit. I just realized something. I didn't pay attention to it earlier. So this pop here and this move back down. You want to guess how many stops were filled and that move back down?
No, I can only imagine.
It's the highest number I think I've ever seen on here.
Wow.
Yeah.
150?
Oh no, bro. We've seen more than that a lot of times. 1,104.
Holy cow.
Multiply 1,104 times 51. Just do 51.95.
Right. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money was just taken out there. 1,104. So just on this move back down, the move up, it took out 783 total, what it ended up taking out. And go on and bank it, boys and girls. We're fitting to hit 80. I don't see anything stopping until we get to 80. Now, I might chop around here for a minute, but it's not. It's going to hit 80. If it hits 80, everybody here's got to send me $1. That gives me $5.
$1.
That iceberg order I told you that we didn't know if it was going to stay there or not at 372 is now 409. So they're adding to this iceberg order at 80.
Yeah.
So you can see 231 orders sitting there. I'm saying there's probably about 2,000 orders actually sitting there that you cannot see. Could be more than that.
Can I can on the short side on the 10 minutes have been really good today.
Yeah, you had a few pop right here on it, which is fine. Which I said is why you could see a little chop around for a minute here. Because you had 100 orders pop up right above it to pull that back up for a second. The deal is they're buying these orders, and then now they put 100 to 85. So odds are they're going to hit the 85. They've added 220 more orders for that iceberg order to the downside. They had 260. Oh, they added 330 more orders to that downside. You had 268 pop to the upside. That's when you saw that little move up. Games they play. Games they play. You know the crazy thing? CBD is just at negative 8,400.
Wow.
So you do have some buyers here. So I might owe all you guys $1. I bet at some point we hit that 80 level today, though. I feel it in my bones.
Feeling your plums.
Yeah, my plums are, what does Snoop say? My lungs are itching.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing with him or a bad thing with him.
Well, you didn't get a downside continuation on that last candle. However, you are looking weak. You're looking weak.
CBD is negative 8,200. I would love a test of the 8 here and then to move it down to 80. Oh, that would be beautiful. Oh, that would be so beautiful. No news. news. Trump still hadn't said anything, so the Easter egg roll is still going on, I assume. Negative 8,000 CBD. Tide is just kind of chilling out. I mean, you're getting a dip and then a pop, but your volume is still shit. So negative 81, negative 82. Sure, this is not as high as they let it get. That might be as high as they let it get. This could be the push that we needed to get down to. I mean, if you look to the upside now, there is 0 triple-digit orders to 52.85. That's as high as I can see. 0. The biggest order is 87 now at 15. Everything else is in the 20s or 30s. You dirty dog, you. You did not give me the 8 test that I wanted.
So they're gonna go for that 85.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the TED Talk today. They're fighting it here a little bit, though. I mean,
Yeah,
give them
yeah,
credit.
they are.
They're 120 orders now at 85. So they're trying to hold it here. Oh my gosh, it just got, ooh. They're going to eat these orders up, aren't they? 455 orders added to those on those iceberg orders now.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
At 75, iceberg orders are.
I had to do something stupid. I'm gonna take a step out real quick. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Don't do anything stupid, even though I think it might play out now. But yeah, that's best. If you do think you're getting itch to do something you probably shouldn't be doing, take a break, step out, go take a walk around your house, go pet your dog, feed your fish, anything to keep from doing it. We're watching this 85 break. You get this 85 break, then we definitely hit the 80 level. And then I don't know what we do at that point. I can't really see much below it because of the way the screen is set up over here. Let's zoom out a little. Okay, so well, here's something I did see that zooming out has helped. You got these orders at 8,258. Then you got about 120 sitting at 61 now. So you got a ton of orders sitting at 61. You got these orders sitting at 80. So the 80 break. I mean, you're gonna have people pop in to kind of hold it up. But as for now, it's just. Well, I just telling them I was looking at a book map and I zoomed out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if it breaks 80, the next order you got triple digit order sitting at is 61.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. Now, I kind of figured this 85 level here would be a little bit of a issue just because they keep throwing orders at 85. They're trying to stop it, is what they're trying to do, right? The question is, oh my gosh, those 80 orders are now, there's 480 orders sitting there. At 80, 400 orders sitting there. That's not iceberg. That's orders you can actually see.
Wow.
Yeah, and then zoomed out the way I am, you see a tighter picture of the iceberg order. So I won't see the huge numbers. You're seeing like 2s and 10s pop up here or there because I'm pretty much on 30-second candles, what I'm looking at there. Now, I know a lot of people freak out and you're like, 30-second candles. Well, it's different. It's not 30-second candles you would think you would watch here, right? I got it zoomed in so I can see the orders popping in and out, so I can see further orders out. You are getting a little bit of a break in your put premiums. Your volume is still just complete garbage. So there's that. once again, we would look for this 8 test. If you get that 8 test, it might be another opportunity to take another short. You have 120 orders popped at 5,200 now, Roy.
Mm.
That is the only thing you have to the upside. So
You did go up there. You would kind of test the 8 on the 10-minute, and you would also clean up some oversold conditions. So, but that candle got faded pretty quick.
yeah, it's just nothing. Once again, Michael, this goes to show how big your balls are for scalping at 51.95. Lord have mercy. I just keep going back to that, like, son, woo.
And it was a good move up from there, but yeah.
If you scalp it, one thing about scalping is you're in and out, right? So you're not holding for a big long move. So
yeah,
if you are to take a chance, you definitely want to scalp it really quick because I just don't. Right now, I just don't see a sustained move up. But this thing could all change. Oh, I did not know he was speaking. All I see is Trump ends remarks. So it must not have been anything special that he was talking about there. Maybe he just talked about Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it possible for him to speak without mentioning tariffs? Like I didn't think that was a thing. I didn't think that was allowed.
Hey, that was a bit of the relief on this candle.
Yeah, it didn't stay
last
pretty long, did it?
No.
Also, it did not give a really good entry if you wanted to go short there. So remember how we was talking about the puts were taking a little break? Well, they're not taking a break anymore. Yeah, it's still it's almost 500 orders sitting around that 80 level total. Now that's 81 to 79, so that's a little bit of a gap there, but we shall see. I still believe that 80 will be hit at some point today. Now, do we cream up after we hit 80? Like, I don't think possible. If it breaks 80, we're going 61 level. So,
One thing, momentum wise, if you're wanting to obviously go long or any of that, we don't recommend that. But these MACDs going parallel with one another, never a good sign as your momentum is now trending just straight down. So you see, you normally get these kind of wiggles and wobbles and stuff, but when you get parallel straight,
and that's been for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, so even though you got this pop up, you never really got momentum to the upside because this is where I said the volume when Monty stepped away. The volume on the little pop up was less than every short candle before. So the
Well,
10
then you
minute.
had to look at your next red candle after those two pops.
Yep, and then you had a 10-minute, which then gave us the short candle to enter in, which we got in right about there. I got in about 92, 91 area. Wrote it down to about 86. So I got a couple points.
Michael, I just lost respect for you. That's a joke. I don't mind the MACD. I don't need it personally. I've got enough stuff I look at. I don't need to add anything else to it.
Yeah, I mean, your trend, it's a good trend indicator for me. So it's for right now. If you wanted to go short, it's dangerous because you could get a pop up, 12, 10 points. As you see, you just popped like basically 7 points here. But if it can show any sort of rejection and this can stay put and this gets cleaned up, then could have a really good short opportunity. But your puts are coming down with the premium is trending down. Your volume though is increasing on the put side still. Did creep in on SPY, did cut into it. Just kind of chopping around above the 0 line. So potentially could get that pop up to this area. But this is the beauty of the 10-minute chart versus the 5-minute chart, in my opinion. The 5-minute chart, you do have a green candle that popped up here. But 10-minute does show the trend without much noise. We're at 11:11 Eastern, 10:11 your time. 86, 87.
2-minute chart. This is why sometimes you do look at the 2-minute chart. So you had an entry here for short, entry here for short, entry here for short. Sometimes you do have to zoom out a little. I'm gonna make that my favorite. Have the 2 and 3 minute. I don't trade the 2-minute chart a lot, but if you are looking for an entry, you can see on the 5-minute. Oh, what was it about?
Oh.
That was I'm not seeing where Trump said anything. Let's go search. See if we can find anything. Anybody watch The Last of Us? I haven't started this season yet. I think I'm gonna start today.
Played the game. I haven't played the second game, so I've been holding off on watching the second season.
Well, I heard if you play the game, it pisses a lot of people off, and they are bombing the ratings. Trump. All right, so if he ends remarks, why are we getting quotes from him now?
Oh, he got to his phone.
The European Union has been fine. The economy has been good, and energy is down.
I haven't heard back from her.
So I would say that maybe they meant he starts remarks.
I think he got to his True Social phone.
Let's see where. I just wonder if it's just in the news part where that's coming from. The Truth Unusual Wells. They have a general chat, options flow. Nothing really there. I don't really see anything over there. But latest news was a little late there. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, CVD is negative 7,500 now. Make it make sense. Hey, there's 82, 83, 82 something.
Look at your trend line, by the way.
Yeah, that's not the right trend line. See how it goes away?
Ah, I see.
It's a stupid thing with take profit. I mean, with Top Step. We had 81.75. That's close to 80.
Boy, oh boy, look at the volume showing up too on this candle.
81.50. Volume is going absolutely insane to the downside, and puts are dropping. So we did hit. Oh, what do we hit? Oh, look at that.
51.80 on the nose.
If y'all, I do accept PayPal, Venmo, Cash Out, all the good ones, $1 a piece. I joke. I kid. It's frustrating because looks like we got a really perfect test here on the 8, which we did not.
Mm-hmm.
But after candle always makes it look like it's a lot better than what it was. Well, I guess we did get a little pop up there, but I mean, now, I mean, you can't.
Did it eat all those orders?
No, it did not. Bounced right off of them. There's 400 and there's about 600 orders sitting there now total. Now, if it would have ate them, it would have continued down. So the pop was it touched them and no, it was a no go.
Have we erased the entire 90-day pause pump? Almost. Still got about 100 points. More than half.
I mean, it's unless something happens. I mean, we're going to. I mean, I just don't know how. I don't see anything. Oh, shit! It is 10:15 in it. They're doing it on time. So you got they're going to bid 3-month bills are going to be 3.3 billion. 6-month bills are going to be 3 billion bids. So that's what we're watching at 10:30. You got the 6 months bid to cover. You got the 3-month bill high, and then the 3-month bill bid to cover. That's what you got to watch. Those ones. I mean, this damn thing hit 80 on the nose. If you had an order to fill at 80, odds are it probably wouldn't have filled. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's one hack too, by the way. Don't put your orders at round numbers. Just go one tick up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, y'all saw when I was in earlier, I actually had my take profit at 81 instead of 80 where they were at. What is this? When do you go on your trip? Wednesday. Oh, look at Adam Mancini. Excellent continued follow through in the ES, and we can see today what happens when a major structural support or bull bear line of 5150 fails. 5187 is next down tagged. 5156 below then 5141. Mancini, we have a few. Our numbers are off just a little bit.
Just a hair.
Don't mind catch. No pop up until resistance covers at 5211. Now we back tested and sold. Yes, I mean I think that's kind of what we preach: is don't try to catch a falling knife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let it come back up and give you an entry, and then do something there. There's 100 orders sitting at 5200 now. You still got there's 391 on 80. You add up the 82 to 87. It's about 700 orders sitting there total.
Wow.
You got 100 sitting at 5175. You got 165 sitting at 5155 now. 80 is still a spot to watch. We say don't try to catch a falling knife. If it does break 80 to the downside, you probably could scalp at least 275, but then you'd have to watch for a bounce there if that does break. So you got to be careful. So you got a couple things could happen if it breaks 80. It could free fall, or it could pop back up and then come back down. And the pop back up would be enough probably to stop you out, then continuous move down. So you got to be super careful there because a couple of different things could happen. Right now, we're watching back up to see if we come back and test. I guess 5,200 would put us in the golden zone, Roy. If you get there, you'd have to think you would test the 21. So right now, you got the 8 here, you got the 14 here, you got the 21 here, you got anchored VWAP there, you got the trend line way up here, where also you have your 50 regular VWAP and the 200 way away from anything that's worth anything. So Let's go back to auto because we don't need to see all that now. I mean, that move this morning is just ugly, 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 ugly. Still gonna kick myself over this one. I mean, if you get in at 38, it's a 58-point move down. Yeah. Oh wow. They pulled orders at 80.
Oh,
You still have a few sitting there, but they pulled most of them. That is not a good sign. Oh, never mind. Nope. I bet if you let's look at 80. They did not eat them all because it went right below that. It went to 79.25. Oh, it must have been 80. Must have been this area here. So those 750 orders.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been those. I see a screen here. I see 80. When I give numbers on Bookmap, they are general numbers. They're not dialed into like dollar amounts. Because like I see 75 orders, and I bet if I was to move that up some, I can see that those are probably spread from 80 to see if I Google in, if I zoom into it. Okay, well there is 111 orders sitting at 75. That is on the number 75. That is not about, that is definitely on the number. If I zoom out some, it's going to take in the orders above and below, and it's going to be right at 200 orders sitting there. So when I zoom in like this, it doesn't give me it gives me exact numbers, but I don't get a bigger overall picture of the market, if that makes sense. That's why I don't keep it zoomed in. Because I can't see it as well when it's zoomed in that tight. See, now I'm back to where I was, and I'm going to actually go. Let me see what this is set on. It's going to break the damn 75. And 75 is going to hold, it's going to break down. This is where I was telling you, if you took the 80 break, right, you got to scalp it because this thing could pop back up. But look at this. Yeah. CBD, you remember I was telling you it's holding around 8,075, it's coming back down. It's back to negative 9,500 now.
Wow.
Roy, I think I'm actually ready to about call it if you are.
Yeah, you're kind of in this hard zone, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
you do have the auctions coming up here at 10:30, so you could see a pop. I don't trust it's going to be a good one. I don't know if we talked about this. This is a big earnings week.
yeah, let me show that real quick.
Yeah, this is a pretty big earnings week. You got Google, Tesla, some other big boys.
Tesla tomorrow after the close, Verizon before. Wednesday before open, you got Boeing, AT&T. After the close, you've got IBM, ServiceNow, Chipotle. Chipotle is actually an interesting one to see if they still have pricing power. They're kind of an interesting market economic indicator. Thursday before open, you've got American Airlines, Nokia, Southwest, PepsiCo.
PepsiCo.
After the close, you've got Intel and Google, and then Vale. Then Friday, you've got just a couple energy guys, Phillips, Portland. The next week, you continue on, but so you've got two of Mag 7 reporting this week, Tesla and Google.
And those are two big boys. So
yeah, what you're wanting to see is the guidance. United Airlines last week kind of did something unconventional is they gave two guidance based on the if we get this, we're going here. If we get that, we're going there. And so I wonder if other companies will follow suit there. Netflix did report last Thursday. The market was closed Friday. You are seeing Netflix fly up on their earnings and then kind of got faded back down, gave it all up, and now has recovered a bit. Tested 1,000. They're really the only one of the big guys that's green.
Well, I mean, Netflix is tariff proof, so tariffs do not affect Netflix the slightest little bit.
Yeah,
Their prescription subscriptions are going up, and I told Roy that I was hearing before their earnings that their guidance was going to be really good guidance, and if you look at their guidance, not only they beat everything on the earnings, they also their guidance was really strong, really strong. So there's no wonder Netflix is doing what Netflix does. I remember trading puts on Netflix at $4.90. Think about that. And that wasn't that long ago.
no.
Now it's what it's running around 1,000. So guidance, Michael, guidance is where they say pretty much what they expect for the next quarter. Like if I forgot, I can find the Netflix guidance and kind of tell you what it is. Kind of good. It might be easier to do it that way.
So one of the traps people fall into is they look at earnings reports and they say, "Oh, they beat last quarter.
Yes.
Why is the stock going down?"
Yes.
The market only cares about forward looking. The market is always forward looking. So it doesn't really care what you did in the past. It cares what you're going to do in the future. And your numbers in the past should match your growth rate in the future, if you will. That's people want to buy a growing company. That's why the stock would go up. So the guidance is what they give after the quarter data. So quarter data path guidance forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Netflix to you. So what it does first, it kind of breaks it down. This puts everything in an easy tweet. So it's not going to be as in depth. But Q1 earnings per share was $6.61 versus $5.71 estimate. Revenue was 10.54 compared to 10.52 billion estimate. It sees second quarter earnings per share $7.03. So it sees an increase in earnings per share again next quarter. They see $11.4 billion above estimates on guidance for 2025. So they're saying they expect to make $11 billion over what they said what they think they were going to make. So they up their guidance as far as it goes for 2025 for the next quarter, which that is always a huge thing. And well, here, look at the market. Look at the market. Michael, every time you ask a question and we get an answer, and I'll be damned, the market dies. What do you do?
Yeah, just
take a short. Michael, ask a question, we can take a short. It's worked out every time this morning so far.
Yeah, they've got their boot on its neck.
Roy said it right. So people look at earnings per share and they're like, they look at everything that came out then. And he said it best. I mean, I don't think anybody can say anything better. The market is never looking backwards. The market is always forward looking. Michael, we will see how the market is reacting to your question tomorrow. Very accordingly. I'm fixing to shut all this down, to be honest with you. So I don't know why I'm moving this. Yeah, but the market is always looking. It's always a forward-looking market. Yes. So can you look back and see trends or history or stuff like that? Yes. But it's always forward-looking. That's why it's so crazy right now, because the market doesn't know what to think, what to expect with all this tariff stuff, right? They're really confused over it. And you're seeing what the different moves we're getting out of it, right? But go back to him real quick. So Adam Mancini, we don't give you a lot of suggestions of people to follow, but if you are trading ES Minis, I suggest that you follow him. You can see I drew his levels out. I'll move all that. We're going to take that off anyway. So let's just go look. This was the first level we drew out for him. Well, what happened? Came down, tested it, rejection. Here's another level, came down. Where did we chop at?
Mm-hmm.
Right in that level, rejection. So you would look for the same thing here. Does it come down? Does this hold finally? Or does it do the same move it's been doing and make another leg down from there? His levels, they are not groundbreaking. You can go see, just go, I say go to our hourly chart. We're going to zoom out. Let's go to auto. You can see why his levels are where they are, right? They are at key levels. He just does a simple 51, 52 just for keep it simple in there. I like to draw the zones out, so I have, and I drew these off a 5 minute. You can draw it off a 15 minute. 15 minute probably a little better off for you. You can see, but you can see why these zones were drawn where they were drawn. This is not rocket science. This is probably the easiest, most simple way to draw zones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty damn accurate way to draw zones. Roy can attest to this. Roy, how long have I been drawing zones this way?
Wow.
For forever.
18 months. Yeah.
Oh, it's been longer than that.
2 years at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years. So zones are where it's at. I love them. I love to play and trade them. These are pretty much, you look at these, you can look at these like order blocks, right? So if you have a big candle down, a big move back up, odds are there are orders left unfilled here. Odds are there are orders left unfilled here. And then you can see when it comes down and test it, what does it do? It eats all those orders up, eats the orders up, and moves to the next one. That's why you're seeing the moves. And you're seeing, you treat it like an order block. So that's how I look at it. I think I have a video on here about supply and demand zones. Same thing. This is what we do. I kind of got away from it because we were so focused on this, the zones we were playing. And to be honest with you, I need to go back and just redraw these zones the way that I know I can draw them. And then the best thing, I used to do it. So there's a NASA Frogman. If anybody doesn't follow him on Twitter, he's actually a really good follow too. He's very, very knowledgeable guy. I mean, you got a few of the people out there that are really, really great, right? NASA's one of them. I think Mancini's one of them. They give good quality information, and they don't cloud it. And you don't see with those two, you don't see, hey, here's all my wins. You see the levels. Levels are what you need to figure out. So practice drawing levels on your own like this, and man, it becomes what used to take me, like I'll go to an hourly chart, right? It's going to take me forever to sit there and figure out where I'm going to draw levels at. Now it takes me, I could probably clear this chart, redraw all the levels, and be done in 10 minutes. And I'm going to have good quality levels. And when you draw your levels and they line up with like somebody like Mancini or Roy members, I used to say, hey, this is what NASA say, look, lines up with my levels.
Yeah.
That means you're doing it right. If you got somebody really good and your levels are lined up with their levels. Like I said, I want to do Mancini's levels. I want to draw them out because I wanted to see what he's looking at. Well, guess what? He's looking at exactly what I used to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing different. For scalping, I would suggest a 15 to a 30-minute chart. Your hourly chart, you're going to get a lot bigger zones because if I was to take this whole thing in, I would actually go to this one. Maybe it is right there already. I would actually go to that one. Top of this candle there. But you can see now we're in that zone. But that also makes that candle, that zone 83 to 4. That's a 40-point zone now. That's a lot of zone to be trading in to figure out. So if you have those big zones, yes, they're going to be right. You go back to a 15-minute. Now that zone, I would move back to here like where it was. And now you got like a 20-point zone, which is fine. So this is I'm just looking for a quick move. Either it holds and it bounces back up. If it bounces back up, you would look for it to come back up. You would look at site levels too. So you got 2,000, 5,200 right there, right below my zone. So you look at 5,200. We overcomplicate this thing sometimes when we really don't have to, is the thing about it. So Ty's still boogieing on the way. So I hope that helps. Use it. Don't use it. I think I kind of live and bye by it. So the 3-month bill auction said we might have a little pop here. Let's look at the 5-minute. Did we get anything out of it? Yeah, you're getting a little pop out of it. You had the high yield was at 4.225%. Bid to cover was 3.01%. Sales sold 79 billion, so you didn't sell all of them. Awards 39% of the bids at the high, which is a little higher than normal. Trump Hegeth is doing a great job. I don't know who that is.
Defense Secretary.
Trump tariffs going well, and everybody wants to negotiate. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. Trump speaking, so I would not trade at all. Secretary of Defense. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know you're talking. I know he is now. Yep. Because yeah, he's the one that is he not the one that did the stupid the leak to the press guy, the tweet, the text that wasn't supposed to go to him?
He created the group. He did not leak he did not add the guy. I think there was another staff member that added the guy. Waltz.
Oh, that's convenient.
So Waltz accidentally added him. The Haggis, whatever his name is, he's under a little bit of fire because some Pentagon officials basically said that the Pentagon's is a bit disorganized and a little out of whack right now. And
yeah, you had the 3-month bill auction. It was at the 6-month bill auction. Sorry, the high yield is 4.05%. Previous was same 4.05. 6 month. Ooh. I'm just looking through 2.93 to cover, 2.93 to cover. They had 80 billion, they sold 71 billion, 30.34% of the bids at the high. Looking at I'm trying to look at previous, so give me a second.
Okay.
I didn't show the previous. Yeah, previous was 2.8. So the previous, so it did go up a little bit. So you did have more people bid. bid at high. Trump asked about the European Union will end up having a deal with them. He's speaking highly on tariffs now, so I'm going to tell everybody if you can take a break, take a break. I am going to log off. I'm not going to trade this anymore. So there's no need to take any chances. Remember, we had a decent day today. Make your money and get the hell out.
Yeah, I nickel and dimed a bit. I got $40 in an XFA, 200 in a Take Profit Pro account, and then 400 on 3 combines. I'm close to passing one of those combines, halfway over on the other 2. So
that is a great day, and you know what?
Why not
end on go play? Your son's home today. Go play video games with your son.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play some games, have some lunch with him, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe touch some grass. We can reenact some WrestleMania stuff. You know, I don't let him watch wrestling, but I'll throw him around a bit.
There you go. There you go. I think that's a great idea. So do not text me later saying, man, I lost an account.
No, I'm locked out. I've locked all Top Step. I'm going to lock out. I wish I could lock Trade Evade. Do you know you could set your Trade Evade risk parameters? It doesn't work. Oh.
Work on it. Nope. Only certain ones do it. I've tried it. Yep. See, look, it's perfect time. Little man says, "Hey, dude, it's time to stop."
Say my goodbyes now. You want to say bye? You want to look at the camera? That great. Say bye. You're blurry.
Bye, little Sunil. Oh, I mean, little
Bye.
Roy.
All right.
All good.
All right.
See y'all.
Take it
Guess
easy,
everybody
guys.
tomorrow. Mike will be ready. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.